Hey everybody, today we're going to solve the construct binary tree from string problem on LeetCode. We need to construct a binary tree from a string containing parentheses and integers. The whole input represents a binary tree. It contains an integer followed by 0 or 1 or 2 pairs of parentheses. The integer represents the root's value, and a pair of parentheses contains a child binary tree with the same structure. And this is an important note here. You always start to construct the left child node of the parent if it exists. So here's what the example looks like. With this input, it outputs this tree. Okay, 4 is the root. And then we can delimit the left and right subtrees like this. So this opens the left subtree. The left subtree runs through here, and then this closes it. And then this opens the right subtree, and the end of the string closes the right subtree. So we can solve this problem recursively, and it's easiest to do if we sort of go through the cases of what we can be given first. Okay, so we could be given a null string or an empty string, and in that case we'll just return null. That's an empty tree. Okay, so let's think about what else we could be given. What else could this string look like? Well, if it's not null and it's not empty, then we're guaranteed that at the very least it must begin with an integer. See right here? The way they define the string, it contains an integer followed by 0, 1, or 2 pairs of parentheses. So if it's not null and it's not empty, we know at the very least we have an integer representing one node in the tree. Okay, so right here we handle null and empty strings. We'll return null. So by getting past this check, we know that we have at minimum one integer representing one node of a tree. So what we have to do is we start at the beginning of the string because we know that's where the integer starts, and then we continue on until we've marked off that entire integer. So the root's beginning is 0, and the root's end will start at 1. And then while the root end is less than the string's length and we're looking at a digit, we just keep increasing root end. Okay, so once we've completed this loop, we know that we've marked off from 0 to root end the integer that represents the value of the root. Okay, so we've been guaranteed that much. Now what we have to determine is, are there anything else left in the string? Is there anything else left in the string? If there is, if we have not hit the end of the string, then by the definition of the problem, there must be a left subtree. Okay? So we delimit the left start as being the root end plus 1. Okay? Because in this scenario, root end, so for this example here, we would mark off root as being this 4. And then root end would actually point at this parenthesis right here. Okay? So by doing root end plus 1, we would be pointing at this 2 for left start. That's where we start the left subtree, and then we set left end to be left start. Now right here, if the string's length is greater than left start, what that means is there must be something in the left subtree. So the left subtree is also a valid thing. And again, in this instance, left start is pointing at this 2 right here. So what we will do in order to determine where the left subtree ends is we will keep track of the number of open parentheses that we've seen in the left subtree and the number of closed parentheses we've seen in the right subtree, or in the left subtree rather. Okay, and when the number of closed parentheses becomes equal to the number of open parentheses, then we've completed the left subtree, and we will do a recursive call to solve the left subtree on the substring from left start to left end minus 1. Okay, so here's what that looks like. So the reason we start open count as 1 is because we're accounting for this open parenthesis that we skip. Okay, so open count starts at 1, closed count starts at 0. And then while open count does not equal closed count, all we do is iterate through the left subtree, and each time we see an open parenthesis, we increment the open count. Each time we see a closed parenthesis, we increment the closed count. And then left end continues to move on with each iteration. So in this example over here, what this will end up looking like is left start will point at this 2. Okay, that delimits the beginning of the left subtree. And then left end will be pointing here. Okay, that's where left end will be pointing. So we will call recursively from left start to left end minus 1, which will actually be here, which will cut off this string. Okay. So we will make a recursive call for this part of the string. Basically, we chop off the beginning and end parentheses there, and we make a recursive call for that left substring. Okay, so if it's there, that will be recursive solve for that substring. Now what we have to determine is there anything to the right? Okay. Well, left n ended here. Okay. So, by the definition of the problem again, if left end is less than the string's length, meaning there's more string to go, then there must be a valid right. Okay? So, we will call recursively to solve the right with left n plus 1, which will point at this 6, and then s length minus 1. So, we will cut off this end parenthesis here, and the right call will be with this string right here. So we just recursively solve the subtrees and solve the problem. Yeah, pretty simple. And yeah, it's really the problem just comes down to being able to parse out this tree and knowing how balanced parentheses work. So that was kind of a trick here. There are a lot of problems that deal with opening and closing parentheses. Keeping track of the open and close count is usually a good way to go.